Well, hello everyone and welcome to Momentum channel. My name is Mo and today we're going to be talking about our Smith's Maneuver portfolio that we have with Questrade. But before we get into it, we're going to provide a quick update of the stock market and its performance over the span of the past 1 week and look at the different major indexes as well as some of the top gainers and losers in the last trading day on Friday. So let's get into it. This past week, the stock market had a rough start, but on a positive note, it ended much better. And finally, the streak of weekly losses for NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and S&P was broken. In fact, the past 3 weeks, when it comes to stock market, all these indexes were down week after week. But finally, while today we were expecting potentially to have another 4th week of streak of the decline in these indexes, finally on Friday, these indexes ended up going up and had ended actually the week on a positive gain, which is just positive news for the stock market. Hopefully, we are getting out of this negative trend. Looking at the article by investing.com, you notice how Apple has definitely done its part thanks to its wonderful earnings report that it had. In fact, Apple's jumped 7% today after reporting quarterly results that topped analyst estimates, both in terms of their revenue as well as the bottom line. Looking at other big players in the tech sector, Facebook was also gained 2.40% today. Google was up by 3.37%. Amazon was up by 3.11%, and Microsoft was up by 2.81%. In terms of some of the other big earners and gainers, we can point out Visa, which knocked it out of the park thanks to its amazing returns. In fact, after delivering fiscal first quarter earnings and revenue that topped Wall Street estimates, and their cross-border payment volumes that was super strong, Visa was up close to 10.6%. I also wanted to point out that Visa was one of the stocks that we had talked about on this channel. About a week ago, we made a video talking about 2 undervalued dividend stocks that were trading at or near their 52-week low price, and Visa was one of those picks that we pointed out and brought to your attention. So we're glad to see that it actually was bang on, and today, after having it reported its financial earnings, actually Visa really outperformed and is showing an upside of 11% just in a mere week time frame. With that massive performance, I think I get the right to ask you to subscribe to our channel. We talk about investing in the stock market, crypto, and real estate, as well as ways to reach financial freedom on Momentum Finance. So you don't want to miss these videos that we make here on this video. Thank you. Some of the other stocks to take a look at include Robinhood. Although Robinhood did deliver disappointing guidances for revenue for its fiscal quarter, still the stock managed to recover from the decline of the day and ended up by close to 10%. The other stock to review is Chevron, that actually was down close to 3.5%. And lastly, Caterpillar, it's one of the Dow indexed big players. It was down by close to 5.19%. With those out of the way, we're going to take a look at my Smith Maneuver portfolio that I have with Questrade. For those of you who might not be familiar, the Smith Maneuver is a technique especially used for Canadian investors who can tap into their principal residence equity and borrow that money to invest, and their interest that they pay to borrow that money would, as a result of that, be eligible for tax deductions. It's a wonderful way. There's a leverage strategy that you could utilize. And we would add definitely some links to the description of the video if you want to learn more about it. And we've made some other videos here describing it in a little bit more details. Be sure to check them out if that interests you. But let's dive into this portfolio. For those of you who've been following our journey, you know that in this portfolio, we are only buying one specific holdings, and that is Vanguard Investments Canada Incorporated. It's an all-in-one equity ETF. The ticker symbol VEQT. The last price for this ETF today was at $34.96. In fact, today it was up by 1.45%. The return for the past week for this ETF as well has been positive with 2.52%. However, as we go and take a look at longer time horizons, the story is a little bit less positive. The past 1 month, this ETF is down by 7.24%. The past 3 months, it is showing to be down by 3.45%. And in the past 6 months, it is almost flat at negative 1.16%. When I look at these type of returns for VEQT, as a long-term investors, I actually I'm happy that we have these temporary corrections and pullbacks, because it gives me the chance to actually add to my existing holdings at much lower prices and increase my positions. VEQT does pay a distribution hovering close to 1%, but it is paid on an annual basis, usually in the beginning of the year, and it was recently paid to us in January. In that sense, if you look at still the longer term holdings though, the return for VEQT in the past 1 year is showing to be positive 10.11%. VEQT, given its exposure to only equities, and this includes thousands of different high quality stocks, you can anticipate definitely much more volatility, but at the same time, much more juicier rewards in that sense long term in terms of the return of your investments. And that's why that's the approach that we are taking here. We currently have 2,118 shares of VEQT, and our holdings are actually currently showing to be down. In fact, our return overall is an unrealized loss of $3,190, or down 4.13%. But we've been adding to our holdings week after week and day after day. For those of you who watch our previous video, you've seen how our number of holdings is growing over time. And that's definitely the approach that we are taking, and gradually adding to our existing shares here. Some of our recent purchases that you noticed includes buying shares at the prices of $34.62, $34.40, $34.25, $33.96, $33.99, and you name it. We've been adding on non-stop. And in the most part, we've added them one by one. One of the key reasons is that with Questrade, you do have to pay a very slight fee when it comes to buying ETFs. It's not like that simple trade that you can buy ETFs for free. Here, you have to pay that fee. But if you buy only one ETF, then the fee is waived. Although the fee is very minimal. For example, if you buy 5 ETFs, maybe you're looking at a fee of only about a couple of cents, somewhere between 2 to maybe 10 cents. It's not massive, but at the same time, we don't mind buying one by one. This way, we have more control in terms of the price of the ETF that we want to buy. And we are not, in this case, we're not looking into buying a gigantic amount of shares. When we first deposited some funds to this account, that was closer to 60,000. And in the first round of buying, we bought almost 30,000. At that time, obviously, we didn't go buy one by one. I mean, rather, we bought close to 1,000 or 1,500 shares right off the bat. And that was our approach, because we didn't want to wait forever to manually enter these shares one by one. Can you imagine how that would be?
Sorry, our computers are a little slow today. We need a new Ethernet cable.
So overall, our long-term strategy here is adding to our existing holdings of VEQT, and that's going to be our sole holdings here. And over time, trying to take advantage of market pullbacks, buy them at the lower prices, and hopefully through that approach, bring down our cost basis and invest for the long term to grow this into a multi-$100,000 account. And hopefully this would be an excellent way for us to have a passive investment account that not only pays us some distributions, but also brings us massive appreciations. Are you invested in VEQT or any other all-equity exchange traded funds? I would love to hear from you. If you do, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you don't, I would love to hear from you whether you're invested in any other ETFs. I hope you found this video beneficial and gained something of value from it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from the video as well. And of course, subscribe to our channel for more videos about investing in the stock market, real estate, crypto, as well as ways to reach financial freedom. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time.